Hey y'all, I will not be before you long. I just came down here to share a thought that I had about Juneteenth. So on the day that I'm recording this, um Juneteenth is on the 19th. Today is the 17th. And so there's all these talks about liberation and freedom. But I was talking to somebody, this was months ago, and they were saying how they feel like Juneteenth is a scam. Like, we shouldn't be celebrating that they got over on the people in Texas and didn't tell them that they were free until June of 1865, when most of the other slaves had already been informed that they were free. And it is said that the slaves in Texas were the last to know. And while I have had that thought, and while I agree, I also look at it like we're alchemists. We're going to turn a fucked up situation into something of value. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it was fucked up that they didn't find out until then. But at the same time, we're going to celebrate that they found out. We're going to celebrate the freedom and the liberation thereafter, if that is indeed the last day of quote unquote legalized slavery. Which, if you watch the documentary Descendants on Netflix, I don't know if they're still showing it or not, it is said that there were slave ships that were delivering slaves to some part of, is it Alabama? I think it's Alabama. Alabama or Arkansas. Well after 65. And that parts of the ships were found. There are documents that support that there was a covert slave trade going on even after slavery was deemed illegal. And then, you know, they transitioned into like indentured servitude that was set up just like slavery. So it still existed, but it looked different. They found a way to make it legal by way of the poverty and oppression. But anyway, I say all of that to say that I hope that as we celebrate Juneteenth, that you are giving some thought to where you may be the last to know that you is free. And as I was thinking about that, I saw on Instagram somebody posted the Hood Historian. That's the name of the account. That actually, slavery was still legal in New Jersey in January, up until January of 1866, which would mean that those who were informed that they were free in June of 1865 were not the last to be informed that they were free. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But here in June of 2026, there are those of us who are not aware, who just finding out that you're free. You're free to switch jobs or careers. You're free to get out of toxic relationships and marriages. You're free to leave religion and practice whatever spiritual practice you want to practice, or none at all. You free to not go to the funeral or to the family gathering or talk to your toxic family members. You're free to change your hairstyle or how you dress. You're free to move out of state or into a house instead of an apartment, or apartment instead of a house. Like, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want to do out here. But so many of us, because of fear, other people's opinions, because what we want to do is not a popular opinion. We don't exercise and honor our freedom. I've been talking to some clients here lately who are in situations where they feel depressed, oppressed, and they approach it as if they have no or very little choice in the matter. But the fact of the matter is, you always got a choice. And the fact that you have a choice means you have some freedom in the situation. You can always make a different choice. Just because you've been on that job for 10 years and they've been mistreating you for 5 of them don't mean that you should stay. Like, that's whoever's business, corporation, that's them people shit. You, if you're not being honored, can move on. The same for friendships, the same for relationships, the same for kinship. You don't have to stay in shit that does not honor you, and where you don't feel valued. You're free. If you want to put on a skirt, 1 eyelash, 3 ponytails, like however you want to express yourself, you're free to do that. With freedom comes responsibility. With freedom comes accountability. With freedom comes consequences. So you want to be mindful of what freedoms you exercise, but the fact remains that you are free. So just like those of our ancestors who were the last to know that they were free, for some of you, it is 2026 and you still carry yourself and behave as if you are not aware that you are free. So let this message serve you. Do notice, baby, you is free. But until next time, y'all, peace.